The episode starts with Team Posey. They stand in the middle of what used to be their dorm room, rummaging around the burnt debris to find things that are still intact. Aw, man! She pulls out a little statue of an elk from a pile of blackened wood. The statue is half burned itself. My parents just got this for me, too. Cinder sighs and throws the remains of what used to be a book at a wall. This sucks. What in the heavens even did this? Ironwood enters the room, holding a small metal box that's been blown apart. Loose wires hang off of it, and it's clearly been burned itself. Cinder crosses her arms angrily. And what exactly is it? A bomb. They look over to Penny, who's holding a burned-up dress. Or, well, some sort of detonator. I saw the tripwire when Weiss opened the window. Weiss stares at the gaping hole where their window used to be. You have really good reflexes. Weiss glances at Penny, but she shrinks up on herself shyly. Weiss digs a bottle of dust out from under a pile of debris. So why was there a bomb on our window? That's what we've been trying to figure out. But honestly, you all have very important names and families. Any number of people could have held a grudge against any of you. So what now? We move into another dorm room and wait for our toaster to blow up too? Actually, I have a different idea. Atlas was meant to travel to Beacon for the Vital Festival in 2 months, but given the circumstances, I think it would be best if your team went now. To Beacon? Doesn't Atlas have the best military and resources? Why send us to Beacon, where they have nothing? Ironwood shakes his head. Because Beacon has Ozpin. Nothing can get past him or his teachers. Besides, having you four leave early might give your assailants the slip, at least for a while. Now then, I'll arrange an airship to take you there in about an hour. I'll leave you four to finish packing your things. What things? It's all basically gone. Ironwood nods solemnly to her, then leaves. Penny stands up, inspecting the burned dress she's been holding, then sighs sadly and tosses it onto a pile of burned wood. Weiss glances at Cinder and Ilya. Both of them also look equally downtrodden. Weiss quickly turns and grabs Penny's hands. Hey, I have an idea. I have a bit of an extra allowance saved up. When we get to Vale, let's go shopping. All 4 of us. She turns to Cinder and Ilya and beckons them to come closer. We can get all new things to decorate our room with. New books, new figurines, new dresses, and everything. She gives Penny a nervous smile. How does that sound? Penny stares back at her for a moment, then smiles too. Wow, thanks, Weiss. That's really sweet of you. Aw, sweet like ice cream. Ugh, you cannot start calling me that. Well, it's better than princess, right? The girls laugh together as Weiss and Cinder continue to banter. We cut to Team Orange. They're in a game shop, and Neo is standing in front of a collection of game boxes. I can't believe you've never played Battle Monsters before. This is so exciting, you'll love it. Are you okay with spending this money right now? Neo nods enthusiastically, holding up several gold coins in one hand and giving a thumbs up with the other. She points to a pink game box and the cashier hands it to her, taking her money. We cut to the 4 of them sitting at a coffee shop outside table, each of them playing their own game boxes. Neo, what starter are you going to pick? We should all pick something different, so we can trade eggs with each other. This is your first time playing, so you pick first. Neo points to her screen, her hair and eyes changing to a green color as she does. Lumpkey? Alright, it wouldn't be my first pick, but... Neo pouts and sticks her tongue out at him, her hair changing back to normal. I'm picking Flumbo! Oscar, which one do you want? Oscar doesn't answer. His neck is craned back as he watches an airship fly overhead. Ruby nudges him with her elbow. Oscar? What? Oh, sorry. I just remembered Ozpin wants me to do something. I'll see you guys back at the dorm. Wait, what? Oscar? Ruby calls after him as he runs off. She sighs and turns to Jean and Neo. Jean shares a worried look with Ruby. Neo is clearly sucked into playing her game. He's been weird lately, hasn't he? Ruby leans in closer to Jean to whisper to him. Okay, after he acted that way in the hospital, I wasn't sure if we should tell him about what we heard Blake and Team Boom talking about in the Forever Fall Forest. What did they say? They were talking about something called a relic? Cardin was saying it was real magic and could show the truth or something like that? That's weird. And it's weird he's talking to Team Boom about it too. Yeah, they didn't seem like they were getting along either. Blake was pretty angry with him, so it's weird he was still telling them this stuff. Melanie made it sound like he owed her information or something. Jean hums and thinks for a moment. The weirdest thing was Cardin was saying the Lady of the Moon made the relic thing, and he said he had actually seen her. Jean scoffs and waves his hand dismissively. Well, now I just think Cardin's making things up. Melanie didn't care too much about that part, but she seemed to think the relic part was still real. Neo taps RWBY's shoulder to get her attention. Neo changes her hair and eyes to match Oscar's. Oh yeah, when we mentioned seeing something to Oscar at the hospital, he got real shifty about it. I told him that Cardin was talking about Ozpin, and Oscar just ran off. When I tried to ask him about Ozpin, he also was really adamant about not talking about it. RWBY sighs and crosses her arms. Jean shrugs towards her. So what do you think we should do? Well, I don't think talking to Oscar is going to really work. He's just going to run away again. Neo taps RWBY's shoulder again, and then changes her hair and eyes to match Blake's, holding up her hands above her head to mimic cat ears. Yeah, maybe we should keep an eye on what Team Boom's been getting up to. We cut to Team Boom's dorm room. The team is huddled around Melanie, who is opening up a message from Torchwick on her scroll. It reads, "Big dust hall tonight. Vale docks, bring weapons." So, we finally get to meet this Torchwick guy, huh? We've already met him. He's nothing special. Too much cologne. So what, are we just standing around being his bodyguards or something? Guess so. It'll be easy. Vale's police are idiots. This'll all go without a hitch. The dust will land in Vale later today. They'll unload the shipment onto the docks, Torchwick will grab it, and then we're free to party at Junior's Club for the rest of the night. Blake's eyes narrow as she reads the message again. Big dust hall tonight. Vale docks, bring weapons. Well, we got a couple of hours to kill. What do you guys want to do? Actually, I want to go check out the docks now. What? Come on. All we're gonna do is stand guard. We don't need to worry about anything. No, I got a bad feeling. I want to check out the place to get an idea of what we're walking into. Sun and Milsha groan, but Melanie bumps Blake's hip with her own. I'm on your side here, leader. Besides, we can always pick up some useful information down in Vale. Fine. Besides, I wanted to check out the new weapon and dust options down in the shops. The team starts heading out to leave. Blake glances at the message from Torchwick one last time, then turns off the scroll. We cut over to Yang and the others. They're kneeling behind several boxes labeled SDC, watching workers as they move boxes off of the train and onto a truck. They wait a moment where the workers aren't paying attention, then hop out of their hiding places and run towards the truck. They dive into the back of it and hide behind more crates, back out of sight. It doesn't take long for the workers to close the truck door, and the vehicle takes off. Yang smiles to the others. Nora gives her a thumbs up. We cut back to Team Posey as they board a luxury private airship. They wave goodbye to Ironwood as the ship takes off. Weiss looks out into the clouds. Penny sits down next to her. I'm actually pretty excited to go to Vale. I've never left Atlas before. Vale is quaint. Rustic. Not really my style. Ilya turns to Penny. What do you know about Vale? The school is located on a cliff that looks over the city. Students can take a bus to get there for free. My dad says there's a great noodle shop, too. Weiss pulls out her scroll and starts to swipe through news articles. There's been a bit of a crime spree in Vale. Ah, yes, your company's dust shipments keep disappearing, right? It's probably the White Fang. They've been targeting the Schnee Dust Company for years. You don't know that. Maybe it's bandits or something. Bandits are more of a problem over in Mistral. I think Princess is right. It's likely the White Fang. Ilya looks a little nervous and crosses her arms, but says nothing else. Penny perks up, however. Well, we should be landing by nightfall. What should we do when we get there? Visit that noodle shop? Go clubbing? Go to our dorms and actually get some sleep finally? Well, I wanted to talk to Ozpin. Think about it. Ironwood mentioned something big and bad the maidens need to fight, but he didn't want to give us any details. He's a military guy, so of course he's going to be secretive. But Ozpin's just an old man, right? Old men love to tell stories. The four girls share knowing looks with each other. Well, that settles it then. As soon as we land in Vale, we'll be paying Ozpin a visit. We cut to Oscar, standing at Ozpin's side as the wind from a landing airship buffets their hair back. The airship has a symbol of Haven Academy on the side. The door opens and 4 students come out and walk up to the 2. Team Persevere, it's a pleasure to meet you. Hello, Professor Ozpin. My name is Pyrrha Nikos. This is Emerald Sistrai, Velvet Scarlatina, and Lai Ren. Lionheart has told me all about your skills as future hunters. We here at Beacon are excited to be your hosts for the Vital Festival. And thank you for letting us arrive early. Lionheart was insistent that we come visit you as soon as possible. Yes, it's fine. I can't blame him for being cautious. If you please, we have a car down the way waiting to escort you back to the school. I'll have arrangements made to get your luggage delivered to your rooms as soon as possible, too. Pyrrha nods, and as the team walks past, Oscar looks over his shoulder, listening to them as they walk by. I still don't understand why we had to come so early, though. Lionheart wanted us to get special training from Ozpin. Well, then why hasn't he talked to any of us about it? They walk away and the conversation can't be heard anymore. Oscar sighs and turns to Ozpin. Ozpin? What do you think of her? Pyrrha Nikos. Well, I can see why Leo picked her. Her track record is exemplary. She's a prodigy in combat. There was a moment of hesitation and Oscar raises an eyebrow. But... Ozpin sighs and rubs his eyes. But... she seems a tad high-strung. I have a couple of other students in mind for the Fall Maiden, and I'd like to see Ironwood's choice for Winter as well. How much time do you think we have before you have to make a decision? Honestly, no matter how much time we have, it'll never feel like enough. We cut to Ruby, Jean, and Neo lingering outside the entrance of the school, playing their game boxes. Neo glances up as Team Boom exit the building. She watches as they walk past them and towards the bus headed for Vale. Neo motions for the others to follow, and they pocket their games and follow Team Boom. Eventually, they get to the streets of Vale. Ruby, Jean, and Neo keeping their distance, but still following the others. They pass by several shops until eventually they hide behind a building and watch as the team start to loiter towards the docks. What are they doing here? Ruby looks around and watches as several trucks park and start to unload crates marked with SDC. Schnee Dust Company. Looks like there's a new shipment of dust. Neo holds up her phone and Ruby reads the message she's typed out. There's been a string of dust robberies, right? Maybe they're trying to... stop the robberies? Ruby grimaces, looking back up and noticing that Team Boom has left their line of sight. Shoot, come on, we don't want to lose them. Ruby rushes out from behind the building. As she does, another group of people walk in front of her, and Ruby crashes directly into one of them. They both tumble to the ground. Ugh, get off! Yang, who's underneath Ruby, easily throws her off and jumps back to her feet. What's your problem, kid? Aren't you paying attention? Yang's words cut short as she makes eye contact with Ruby. Ruby gasps and takes a step backwards. She looks Yang up and down. Yang does the same for her. Nora nudges Yang's shoulder. What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. Ruby, are you alright? She's... my sister. Huge special shout out to the fan art. It's always really cool and I really appreciate it. You're also creative and good and you do a really good job with your art and I really, really appreciate it. Cannot overstate it enough. It's always super cool, and I really love seeing it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's links to the fan art in the description, so make sure to show them all some love, because they really deserve it. Shout out to my $10 patrons, you're all amazing. Andrew, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, Classy Critic, Noah Perkins, Sunny Shy, Genital War Thunder, Jake, Amber, Hype Man, Isaiah, Scaring Crows, Not All That Evil, Messiah Complex, Jacob, Ben's Sketchbook, Rain, Omega Fighter, Trash, Wild Pilot, Josh, Twisty, Juan, Bunkin Duncan, Lycan99, Hoodie Angel, Ranger, Hutmut Butt, Cloudy Days, The Enigma, and C1 Trooper. Yeah, I hope you like this episode. Gearing up towards things. I know a lot of people have been waiting for Yang and Ruby to meet and for Ren to show up, and Ren technically showed up in this one. What do you think of the progression of the story? We're gearing towards the finale, getting close to the end. Any thoughts and theories? I'd love to see them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've been enjoying the series as much as I have. I can't wait for the next episode, and I hope I'll see you there. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.